Hi there, this is Gavin from Independence Live. This is just a little video about some of the equipment we use, and we're hoping to receive some donations. This is equipment that I've purchased over the last year, and it gives you an idea of some of the types of things that we can find useful. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so first of all, the ubiquitous iPad, a really handy, useful thing. Now, naturally, I was more of an Android person when I started, but the one reason that iPads are significantly more handy to us, and this is just an iPad Mini 2, so they're not that current, they're quite old still, but this app that I'm running is why I really navigate to using iPads. It's called Live to Air, and what you can see in this interface is it allows us to mix between different windows. I can bring in different cameras and mix in different shots and graphic things, mobile and overlays. So iPads, really useful. Now, it's not all of them. On the screen right now is the types of iPads that we find really useful. Okay, let's move on. Okay, things that go with iPads that are really useful for us are old iPhones. This is an old iPhone 4S, and I can use this as a remote camera in my linking up with the iPad to do a live stream, as a remote microphone, things like that. So donations of old iPhones, that has to be able to run iOS 8 or above to be able to run the remote app that we require. So that's just on the screen to confirm. Anything iOS that you can run iOS 8 or above, that's handy to us. We can use that. Okay, next. Okay, on to the next things. This is just an example of a camera, sort of thing that might be sitting about. So I'll pop a picture on the screen here of the camcorder I'm using just now. The main thing is that we can have HDMI outs. That means this thing. You usually say HDMI out. If it's got one of those, it's usually pretty useful to us. So if you've got an old camcorder sitting around that's got an HDMI out on it, that's pretty handy. Other types of output systems are useful as well. We usually need to use them in conjunction with one of these boxes that's got the right inputs to use them. So HDMI out is probably the most universally helpful ones, but other ones are helpful as well. So if it's not got an output in it, it's not very useful. But something with an HDMI out, a clean HDMI out, when you plug it into your TV, you don't see lots of crop marks around it, things like that. So some DSLRs, cameras work that way and some don't. But most camcorders that have an HDMI out should be clean. So anything like that's handy. This is an old Zoom audio video recording device. It's quite handy. It's got audio on it, but it's got HDMI out in it, so that's quite handy. Okay, so two devices that allow us to stream into take camcorders rather than tablets. This box allows me to live stream from a camcorder onto the internet directly, or link up with the iPad so I can use it as a second camera. This is called a Teradek VidiU Mini, and it costs about 350 quid new. It allows me, as I say, to plug in an HDMI camera in and live stream from that. Really handy. Obviously, that's a bit more of it. It's not something you're likely to have around. It's just an example of the types of gear we need to be able to get camcorders to use, to be able to use them. This is a Blackmagic Infinity Shuttle USB 3. This allows me to take a camcorder, a lot of different outputs, or presentations from a laptop, and live stream that. Okay, this was about another 100 quid that I spent to get this. So you can get the idea. We need to get a lot of different gear to do different jobs. So not everything is just a tablet. Okay, on to the next. Okay, on to the next thing. This is just an idea of audio devices that we use. So I got this Zoom H6. That cost me about 250 quid, but the idea is we need donations of USB audio devices that we can record inputs into and things. I'll put on a little list of some items that are handy for us on the screen just now. So on to the next type of category of things that are helpful to us. Okay, next up, microphones. A variety of microphones that are really helpful to us, particularly these little clip-on microphones. Now, these days it's ones with the little mini jacks on the end that we're after. Ones that go into iPhones, or ones that go into camcorders. Okay, but these little clip-on tie mics, anything in that nature is usually handy for us. Okay, here's a type of clip-on microphone that I bought recently called an Aperture A-Lav. I can plug this into an iPhone or into my camcorder or into a mixer and use this clip-on microphone. It's what I'm using just now. It's not great, but it's the type of thing that we can use. Okay, so that was a little run through some of the types of gear I use to live stream. Obviously, we can just do it with a tablet, and sometimes that's the easiest, the most appropriate way to do it. But time and time again, we encounter doing interviews, all sorts of things, which we need to be able to be a bit more dynamic with the types of equipment we can use. So any kind of donations you're willing to make of equipment, microphones, tablets, or other types of gear that you've seen here and that was on the screen, I'll do a little list at the end of this. That'd be really, really helpful. Okay, thanks now. Bye.